Hello. Today is Wednesday, August 19th, 2026. Here is your daily signal. According to Bloomberg, India has instructed its domestic oil refiners to boost LPG output as uncertainty in the Strait of Hormuz persists, aiming to shore up festival season supplies. The Strait of Hormuz is a critical choke point for India's energy imports, previously routing up to 50% of crude oil and 90% of LPG before geopolitical tensions and war in West Asia disrupted flows beginning in March 2026. India, which brings in nearly 89% of its crude from abroad, faced the largest oil supply disruption on record when the strait closed, with a global loss estimated at 15 million barrels per day. To weather the crisis, Oil Minister Hardeep Singh Puri led a multi-pronged response involving companies like Reliance Industries, Ankh, Oil India, and GAIL. India managed to successfully shield consumers through diversified sourcing, now importing roughly 67% of LPG from the U.S., expanding refining capacity, and ramping up domestic production, as Minister Puri confirmed this August. CareEdge Ratings has warned, however, that if both the Hormuz and Red Sea routes shut, Brent crude could spike to $130-135 per barrel, threatening inflation, rupee depreciation, and leaving 40% of India's crude imports at risk. For now, India's strategy has prevented fuel shortages during the festival period, but persistent oil price volatility and rising energy costs could pressure small businesses and macroeconomic stability. Policymakers are expected to accelerate infrastructure expansion like the Rs 84,000 crore Samudra Manthan program to further reduce reliance on vulnerable maritime choke points. Bloomberg reports that Eastern Congo is experiencing its deadliest Ebola outbreak to date, as UN officials warn that recent humanitarian funding cuts are allowing the virus to gain ground. Since 1976, the Democratic Republic of Congo has grappled with recurring Ebola outbreaks, but the current crisis is unfolding in conflict-hit regions where insecurity and mass displacement have weakened healthcare infrastructure. The United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs (OCHA), a longtime lead agency for funding outbreak response, has cut support due to donor withdrawals. On August 18, 2026, OCHA announced the reduction in humanitarian funding, and within 2 weeks, MSF health workers in North Kivu observed a 35% surge in confirmed Ebola cases. The local Ministry of Health, Médecins Sans Frontières, and the World Health Organization are working in a challenging environment shaped by ongoing violence from groups such as the Allied Democratic Forces, which further impedes vaccination, logistics, and case management. In the immediate future, these funding cuts may accelerate new infections and fatalities as medical supply chains and outreach falter. There's growing risk of Ebola spreading into neighboring provinces or countries and placing further strain on already fragile health systems. If funding gaps persist, international trust could erode, deepening Congo's humanitarian crisis and deterring future donor engagement. According to TechCrunch, Stripe has announced plans to acquire AI gateway startup OpenRouter for over $7 billion, making it one of the fintech sector's largest AI deals. Stripe, founded by Patrick and John Collison in 2010, is already a fintech heavyweight and sees OpenRouter's technology, which unifies API access to more than a dozen AI models, as key to advancing its own platform. The global race among payments firms to embed AI accelerated sharply starting in 2024, and Stripe seeks to strengthen both its payment processing and fraud detection capabilities by integrating OpenRouter's multi-model AI access. Stripe's move comes after raising more than $2 billion and achieving a near $50 billion valuation. The OpenRouter deal is expected to close by the end of 2026, and Stripe will soon roll out new AI-enhanced products to its worldwide merchant base. In the near term, this acquisition will boost Stripe's risk analysis and customer automation, but it's already pushing rivals like PayPal and Square to step up their own AI investments. Medium term, the size of the deal could invite regulatory scrutiny over market concentration in both AI and payments, especially in the US and EU. As AI integration speeds up, Stripe's merchant clients may see faster, more intelligent payment technologies early next year. Now, onto the markets. The S&P 500 moved lower with a day-on-day decline of 0.68%, while sectors like healthcare and finance saw gains. Healthcare rose 1.6%, led by Roman 45 reaching 169.73. Semiconductors faced the largest drop among sectors, with stocks sliding 4.96% to close at 531.39. Real estate and transportation also finished in the red, with XLRE and XDN dropping 0.45% and 2.10% respectively. International markets were mixed. Germany's EWG posted a modest monthly gain of 6.9%, while Japan's EWJ fell sharply by 2.85% on the day. Commodities saw silver slump 3.6% and uranium drop 3.6%, but gold's monthly gain reached 8.4%. Among favorites, Adobe surged 3.6%, while AMD lost 4.3% and Nvidia shed 2.3%. Microsoft's share price remained steady, and Alibaba outperformed with a 2.8% gain. That's it for today. You can find more news and details on our website. Goodbye.